Buttons, coins and even musket shot and cannonballs. These small and exquisite items were discovered in the depths of the River Wear surrounding Durham. Gary Bankhead has been diving in these waters for the last 10 years and retrieving some highly significant artefacts that piece together a much larger picture of the city's history stretching all the way back to medieval times. But it wasn't as an archaeologist that Gary first began exploring the murky waters.
I am actually still an operational firefighter and I'm in charge of Green Watch at Durham Fire Station. It's a career I love doing, and part of our role is to actually respond to incidents in the River Wear and emergencies as a first responder. So I guess it's a combination of my local skills, my knowledge of the area, that's allowed me to do what I do in the River Wear. The artefacts are typically small metal finds. They are the material culture of the everyday lives of the citizens of Durham for that last 800 years. And really, if archaeology is ultimately about the people, the interactions they had, the organisations and the relationships they had, we can start to rewrite the history of Durham. So we have this incredible, important assemblage of small finds that are essentially the small things forgotten.
Among the most significant discoveries Gary has made include this pectoral cross that closely resembles the one worn by St. Cuthbert, and it was only through superstition that it ended up on the riverbed.
In amongst the assemblage are a small group of objects known as pilgrim souvenirs and secular badges. So these are small, typically lead or pewter objects. Pilgrimage was massive in England, and throughout the country there was some very important shrine sites. And it appears that pilgrims, when they travelled to a shrine site, they needed evidence that they'd actually been there. So they would buy a badge or a souvenir to mark that a trip. But they would quite often buy 2 badges. And for deliberate, superstitious reasons, they would literally throw one of the badges into a river. And that would guarantee safe passage home.
But of all the discoveries made so far, Gary believes that these are just the tip of the iceberg, and that many more relics are yet to resurface.
I've actually donated the entire assemblage to the citizens of Durham. I'm just the guy who's come along and found them. They're not mine, they belong to the people of Durham. And I'm very fortunate that these objects that you can see behind me, these are dress accessories, typically objects that would have been worn by people. Durham's history essentially is best part of 1,000 years. We don't have that Roman activity, or the Vikings, they weren't here. So to find anything associated with those earlier histories would be great. But I guess pilgrimage, everyone is interested in the pilgrimage offerings, and to find more objects associated with the Shrine of Cuthbert, I think ultimately is my goal. That's what I need to find.